Hello you all. I'm doing this video for my sibling, my brother. Shout out to Jared Ryan Adams, he's my brother. And also his fellow inmates in cell block 121 at the Letcher County Jail. In this video here, I'm going to be going over the current inmates in the Letcher County Jail. So this is their disclaimer you have to read through and go through. I'm not going to read through all this. This is for the Letcher County Jail. And then this is their address here, Letcher County Jail, 156 East Main Street, Whitesburg, Kentucky, 41858. Their phone number is 606-633-5163. If anyone wants to know their information and the address to write any inmates, there it is, the address that you'd write to. And then I'm sure there's some way or another if a person wants to put money by calling that number online. But no one has to. I'm just giving you the information for those of you who's interested or want to know it. There it is. And so after you read this disclaimer for the Letcher County Jail, you can either cancel it or you can say, yes, I have read and I agree. We're going to say, yes, we have read and we agree. This pops you in to the current inmates for the Letcher County Jail. So in alphabetical order, there is a Alan Reynold Adams. This is his profile right here. They have listed. They don't really have anything listed for him right now, currently. He is the first person though. That's who we're on. Or nope, I clicked on it. I'm sorry, my bad. Let me click on it again to make sure. Alan Reynold Adams is the current inmate. Here's his picture. And this is legal, what I'm doing. I am legally able to do this as a YouTuber, just like anyone else in the world is legally able to do what I'm doing for this video. So this is his profile. Over here's his information. He's a ginger. His gender is male. His date of birth, it shows right there. His height, his weight, they don't have it listed. His race, his hair color, eye color, skin tone, build, and nationality. Down below it, it shows his defense or description to what he did. Down below it here if you want to read it. Now I'm not going to read off all these things, and it tells you, I guess, the date that he was put in. We'll go to the next person. The next person's name is Gary Dean Jr. Adams. Here's his profile picture. And here is his gender, his date of birth, his height, his weight, his race, his hair color, eye color, skin tone, build, nationality. Down below, it doesn't have his description of what he's in there listed. So we go down to the next person. Okay, this right here person is my sibling. This is my brother. So shout out to my brother. His name is Jared Ryan Adams. Click on it again. Brings him up. Here's his profile picture. So this is my brother. I only have one sibling. This is what he looks like. Okay, I'll zoom in so you guys can see him better. That's what my brother looks like. And my brother said if anybody wants to write him, they're more than welcome to, and he would write them back. So that's what he said the last time I went to visit him and see him. Now, I don't really know, and he don't either. We don't know what's going on with his case. I do know that they had court for him this past Friday, but he did not get to attend. A lot of times around here where we live at, they do private court sessions with whoever the inmate is doesn't even be allowed to attend the sessions. Sorry if it's so loud and you guys can't hear. I'm trying to talk a little bit louder for you. My uncle next door is mowing the grass, so that's why it's so loud. But anyways, this is what my sibling looks like. Right there, and here's his name. Click on it again. Jared Ron Adams. That's his name. This is my sibling. That's my brother. Shout out to my brother. Okay. Over here is his what his gender is. He's a male. His date of birth, and I'm going to read it because I know he doesn't care for me telling you. Me and my brother, my sibling, are 28 months apart. His birth, and he is older than me. His birthday is August the 28th of 1979. My birthday is December 28th of 1981. His height is 5'11". His weight is not listed. His race is white. His hair color is gray. It's really not gray, but that's what they have it listed as. I don't think it's gray anyways. He always had blondish color hair. His eye color is blue. His skin tone is fair. His build is medium. His nationality is not listed. Obviously, we all live in the United States, though. Okay, here is his description, what they got listed. I don't know what all these codes mean. I'm not into politics or the law, so I'm just reading off these descriptions to you all. I'm not even going to read them off. I'll have them shown right here on the video, but I don't know what they all stand for, and it's none of my business, and I don't know. So there they are if you want to look at it. This is his descriptions. And then here's the dates over here. Okay, that was my brother. We spent a little bit extra time on him because he is my brother. And like I said, if anyone wants to write him, he said he was willing to write them back. But we don't know as of last Friday or this past Friday what they're going to do with him. We don't know if they're going to let him out. We don't know if they're going to send him to a rehab. We don't know if they're going to send him to prison. We just don't know. So anyways, there you go, another look at him. We're moving on now. Okay, the next person in line, this is alphabetical order, Samuel Eugene II Atkins. So we're done where Adams is now. We're moving on to the last name, Atkins. Let me click on that. This is what that person looks like. This is his information. Down here is what his description is. Okay, moving on to the next person. Kevin L. Arnold. That's what he looks like. Here's his body description and stuff. Down here is his description, excuse me, of what he's been accused of. If you want to look at it. Okay. Now we'll move down to the next person. And they do have males and females together on this list of people, of the current inmates. That's what it is the current inmates to the Letcher County Jail. This person's name is Amy Renee, I hope I pronounced that right, Bailey. Here's her picture. Her gender, she's a female. She's 5'1". You can see the rest of her description there, and here's her description and code of what she's been accused of. I will go ahead and say allegedly to all these people, this is what they're being accused of, allegedly. I do not know no information about none of these people I'm reading off for facts. Everything's alleged. Alleged, 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 alleged. Okay, let's go down to the next person. This person's name is Gregory Allen Baker. Here's his picture. Here's his body description. Here is his description of what he's allegedly been accused of. If you want to go back and read it. Okay, the next person's name is Michael Baker. Here's his picture. That's one of the first things they do when they put you in jail. I know from experience is they take your picture. And also, like if you have tattoos and stuff, they take pictures of your tattoos and piercings, tattoos, scars, anything that they can identify you by. Here's his identification description. They don't have a whole lot listed for him. Here's his description of what he's been accused of, allegedly. Okay, we go down to the next person. The next person is Mark Can Bentley. There's his picture. Here's his body description. Here's his accusal description, allegedly. If you want to go back and look at it and read it, you can. Here is the next inmate, Wilson Harmon Branham. I hope I pronounced that right. Here's his picture. There's his identity description. Here's his accusal, allegedly, description. Okay, next person is, I hope I pronounced this right, I'm sorry if I don't, Laquita, or Laquita, Laquita, I don't know how to pronounce that. Darlena, I have no clue. And I don't even know how to say that. Darlene, LaQuanta, I don't know if it's LaQuanta, LaQuita, Darlena, Brashear. But there's her name. Sorry if I butchered it, I know I did. I cannot pronounce it, I'm sorry. There's her picture. And then there is her identity description. Doesn't look like she has an accusal, allegedly, description listed for her. Okay, next person is, his name is Jeremy S. Brock. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Down below it here is his accused, allegedly, description. Okay, next person. Brian Paul Broom. I might not be saying his name right, and I'm sorry. I do apologize. Broom. Ron Paul Broom. I'm not so sure how you say his name. I'm sorry. Here's his picture. And here is his description of identity. Then down below it, ooh, somebody was writing a book, it looks like. Down below it is his accused, allegedly description of what he's in for. I don't know what all that stuff means. And then there is his case things and his case numbers, I guess, and offense dates. Okay, let's see. We was right here, I think. This person's name is Crystal Dawn Callahan, I think, is how you pronounce that, or Calhan. I'm apologizing if I am mispronouncing these names. I'm sorry. I've always thought that was a beautiful name, though, and spelt like that, Crystal. I used to have a friend in high school named Crystal. And Dawn, I like that for a middle name. I had a best friend in high school. Her middle name was Dawn. So I've always loved those names. Anyways, here is her picture. There is her identity description. Down below it here is her codes and her accused, allegedly description. Okay, let's go to the next person. Next person's name is Hunter Trey Campbell. There's his picture. Here is his identity description. There is his codes and descriptions of his accused allegedly stuff, and it's not showing up. Okay, we go down to the next person. The next person's name is, I hope I say this right, please forgive me if I don't. I have trouble pronouncing and saying certain words and names. This person's name is Tanisha G. Campbell. Here is her picture. Here is her identity description. Down below it here is her accused, allegedly, code and descriptions. Okay, the next person's name is Jacob Chaffins or Chaffins. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing these names right. Here is his picture. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused, alleged description and his code for his cases. Okay, the next person is Donald D. Collins. The inmates are listed in alphabetical order. Here is his picture. Here is his identity description. Down below it here, looks like somebody got heavy with the pen and paperwork on this person. I'm sorry. So here is his accused, allegedly descriptions and codes. Okay, let's go on to the next person. This next person's name is Robbie Collins. Here's his picture. See, whenever you become an inmate to a jail or prison or whatever, they always, one of the first things they used to do, I know from my little experience of being in the Letcher County Jail years ago, back in 2014, for getting in a fight with my mom, pretty much. Anyways, whenever they booked me in, they took pictures of all my scars, made me turn different ways, and take pictures of, like, if I had tattoos, which I don't have no tattoos, but I'm sure they made this guy take pictures of his tattoos. It looks like he has tattoos on his arms and stuff whenever they booked him in. That's one of the first things they do back then whenever I was in jail. Okay, this guy's identity description is listed right here. And it looks like somebody got pen happy again. They was writing a book on him. And here is his accused, allegedly, code and descriptions of what he was in there for. Okay, let's go down to the next person. It's right here, I do believe. His name is Christopher Combs. Here is his picture. Here is his identity description. Here is his, another book. Here is his accused, allegedly, code and descriptions. And this is the date of the offense and case numbers. Okay, going back over here, here is the next person. So me and this person have something in common. A couple things in common, actually. This person's name is Jessica Nicole Kraft. My name in real life is Jessica Nicole, but I spell mine with an H. So I spell my Nicole part Nichole, and my last name right now is Adams. I went back to my maiden last name. Okay, so her name is, back to this current inmate, her name is Jessica Nicole Kraft. And no, I do not know none of these people. So this is what her picture looks like. This is her inmate identity. Me and her have another thing in common, or actually 4 things in common. We are both have fair skin. We both have hazel eyes. And I don't know if you would call my body type medium or big or large. I don't know how they list it. She's a little bit taller than me, though. I think I'm only 5'4" and she's 5'5". Okay, let's go down here to her accused, alleged description of what she's in there for. There's the code. This is what they're saying about her. And then this is her offense date. All right, moving on. This is the next person. Their name is, I hope I say this right, Cadadilla. I don't know how you say your name, and I'm sorry. I do apologize. Cadalea. I don't know. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Her name is that Dameron. So this is her picture. This is what her identity says about her. I guess they do list body types or builds as large. And I think they got that completely wrong on this woman. I'm so sorry. She does not look like that, what they have her listed as, at all. I think they made a typo for sure. That's just my opinion, allegedly. So anyways, this is her description of what she's been accused of, allegedly. Okay, let's scroll down. We can scroll up to scroll down or whatever to get the rest of the inmates. I don't think we have too many more. We'll go all the way up to her name and then come back down. Okay. The next person's name is Flint H. Day. Here's his picture. Here's his identity. Here's his accused, allegedly description. Okay, the next person's name is Daniel Larry Dawes. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly description and codes. Okay, let's go to the next person. Next person's name is Dallas Jr. Fleming. There's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly description. Here's the next person. Their name is Stephen Thomas Fleming. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here's his accused, allegedly description. Okay, next person's name is Vincent Fleming. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly code and descriptions. Okay, the next person. The next person's name is Matthew Frazier. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly codes and descriptions. All right, moving on to the next person. This person's name is Jeffrey Michael Grant. Here is his picture. I'm pretty sure in the Letcher County Jail, the one we're viewing right now, I could be wrong though, but I think they have both the black and white clothing and the orange clothing for inmates to wear, and also white. Okay, here is his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly description of what he's been accused of. Okay, let's see, where was we at? Right here. Next person's name is Jason Dwayne Griffey. Here is his picture. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly, code and description. Okay, moving on to the next person. This is her description. Her name is Amy. Her name is Amy. Wait, let me click on it again. Amy L. Griffith. Here's her picture. Here's her description. Of identity. And here's what she's being accused of, allegedly. There is a difference in those last names that I just now did. The other one was Griffey. This is Griffith. I hope I'm saying it right. Okay, the next person is Dallas. Or no, my bad. I'm sorry. Douglas, not Dallas. Douglas Matthew Hayes. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here's his accused, allegedly description. Okay, the next person is named Paul Edward Helton. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here's his accused, allegedly description. All right, moving on. We just got done doing him, I think. Yeah. Okay, the next person, I'm going to scroll this up a little bit so I can see better. It's hard to see and hold the camera too on what I'm doing. I'm going to scroll it up to the last person we did. Alright, so we can start here. This person's name is Alex, and I hope I pronounced this right. His last name is Hyatt. Okay, here's his picture. Here's his identity description. All right, guys, bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to hold the phone in a different hand and sit up a little bit to finish doing this. Okay, my hand's getting sore holding the phone. And I have to sit up in the chair that I'm sitting in. Here's his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly description. Okay, next person's name is Emily Page Hill. Okay, here is her picture. Here is her identity description. Now for the accused allegedly description, they don't have anything listed. Next person's name is Brandy Howard. Here is her picture. Here is her identity description. Underneath of it here is her accused allegedly code and description. The next person is Sean Anthony, and I hope I say his last name right. It's Ahila. I cannot say it. I'm sorry. I do apologize. So here's his picture. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly, description. All right, let's move on. This next person's name is Carl Eugene Johnson. Here is his picture. Here is his identity description. He is tall. He's 6'3". He's tall. Underneath of it here is his accused, allegedly description. Oh, I didn't know this, but I guess on some of them you can scroll down and see even more. They must have encyclopedias here for some of the inmates. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go down. Where was we at? His name is Carl Johnson. So we did him. That's who we just now did. So we go to the next person underneath him. His name is Chris Wayne Johnson. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here is his code and description accused allegedly of. All right, the next person, John, excuse me, my allergies are upsetting me a little bit. John Jefferson Kilithely. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce your name the right way. I know I didn't. But here's his picture. I think it's John Keitherly. Maybe. I'm not sure. Here's his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly description. And if you scroll down on some of these, they keep going. Okay, I'm going to scroll up a little bit on the names so we can see them a little bit better and know where we're at. The next person's name is James Dale Kinser. Here is his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly, code and description. There is his offense date. All right, next person, their name is Rachel King. Here is her picture. Here is her identity description. Underneath of here is her accused, allegedly, descriptions. Okay, the next person's name is Brittany LaShawn, I think, Looney. Sorry if I do not pronounce these names right. I do apologize. Here is her picture. Here is her identity description. Here is her accused, allegedly, description. Okay, next person is Justin Allen Lucas. Here is his picture. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly description, which they don't have anything listed. Moving on to the next person, Stephen L. Maggard. Here is his picture. Here is his identity description. Underneath of it here is his accused allegedly description. All right, let me scroll up a little bit so we can get back down here to these names a little bit better. I can see them a little bit better. Next person's name is Kobe Leo Malam. I hope I said that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. I do apologize. Here's his photograph. Here is his identity description. That's the first time I think I've seen one listed for nationality of the United States, which we all know they're all from the United States or in the United States. Okay, now down here at the bottom is his accused allegedly descriptions. Okay, next person's name is Mark Anthony Miles. Here's his picture. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly description. Okay, next person's name is Chris Todd Mullins. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Down below it here is his accused allegedly descriptions. Okay, the next person's name is Ralph Kenny Neese. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. At this current time today, it is June the 15th of 2026 at 11:43 a.m. They do not have his current accused allegedly description listed. All right, moving on to the next person. I've gotten lost here. Okay, right here. The next person's name is Chase Pennington. His picture is here. His identity is listed here. His accused allegedly description is listed here. Moving on. Next person's name is James Melwood Pike. His picture's here. His identity description is listed here. He's listed in the United States too. He's only the second person I think I've noticed that they had that filled in. His accused allegedly description is here. Okay, the next person is Gavin Lee Polly. We're in the P last names now too. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here's his accused allegedly description. Okay, next person is Jason Lee Polly. Here's his picture. Here is his identity. Here is his accused, allegedly description. Next person here is Richard A. Prophet. I'm going to scroll up a little bit so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better for you all. Here is his picture. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly descriptions. Okay, next person is Chris Michael Prophet. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly descriptions and the offense date. Here is the next person. Her name is April Lynn Sexton. Here is her photograph. Here is her identity description. Here is her accused, allegedly description and her offense date. Here is the next person. His name is Ron W. Sexton. We're in the S's now. We're getting closer to the end of the alphabet. Here is his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly descriptions and codes. And you can scroll down to see more here. Okay, the next person is Cecil Wayne Shell. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here's his accused, allegedly descriptions. And like I said, I do not know none of these people. I do not know what any of these codes or letters or descriptions mean or stand for. The only person I know is my brother of the current inmates that I'm showing you in this video. The next person is Steve Shepard. Here's his picture. Here's his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly descriptions. All these people that I am showing you, all their cases are alleged and accused. It's all alleged. This is the next person. His name is Ricky D. Sloan. Here is his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly description. All right, the next person, we're going to scroll up a little bit so I can see better. I can't get it to scroll up no more. I guess we're almost at the end of it. It's why. Okay, the next person is Israel Ross Smith. Here is his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused, allegedly code, and description. Okay, the next person's name is Marshall Lee Smith. Here is his photograph. Here is his identification. Here is his accused allegedly description. Next person is Billy Paul Sturgill. Here's his photograph. Here's his identity description. Sorry, excuse me. Here is his accused allegedly code and descriptions. Reminds me of a song I know. That right there does. Okay, let's see. Where was we at? Okay, we're on this one here. We're going down to this one here. Okay. Dalton T. Sturgill. Here's his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly code and description. All right, guys, we're getting closer. We're almost done. This is the next person. And I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm sorry. I do apologize in advance if I don't. His name is Killer Sullivan, I think is his name. Khalil Sullivan. Khalil. Yeah, I think it's Khalil or Khalil Sullivan is what I'm going to call him. I hope I said something right somewhere. Anyways, here's his picture. And then here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly code and descriptions. Okay, the next person's name is David Dwight Taylor. Here's his picture. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly code and descriptions. Okay, we are right here. This is the next person. His name is Aaron T. Thomas. Here's his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly code and descriptions. Next person, we're almost done, y'all. Cody Tucker. Here is his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly description. They don't have a date for his listed. Okay, the next person is Rodney Lee Webb. Here's his photograph. Here is his description or identity description. He doesn't have anything listed for his accused allegedly descriptions. The next person, and I'm scrolled all the way down, is Chris Ivan Whitaker. I hope I pronounced his name right. Here's his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly code and descriptions. Next person is Matthew White. Like the color, white. Matthew White. His photograph is here. His identity description is here. His accused, alleged information description is listed here. I'm divorced now, but back when I was married, my last name was White. But I don't think that that person is any kin to my ex or anything. I don't know. But I went back to my maiden last name, and I'm Adams now. So anyways, moving on. Next person, his name is Michael Devin Woods. Here's his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly description and code. Next person, his name is Timothy Dwayne Wright. Here is his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly description. Okay, next person. Dahana. I'm sorry. I'll go ahead and apologize for not saying your name right. I'm sorry. Diana Lynn Wyatt. Here is her photograph. Here is her identity description. Here is her accused, allegedly, descriptions and codes. Next person, Tina L. Yearly. I hope I pronounced that right. Here's her photograph. Here is her identity description. Here is her accused allegedly code and descriptions. Next to last person listed as Letcher County's current inmates for 6/15/2026 is Travis Roger Yearly. Here's his photograph. Here is his identity description. Here is his accused allegedly code and descriptions. And last but not least, the last person, human being listed on the list of Letcher County Jail current inmates for 6/15/2026 as of 12 o'clock p.m. is Lucas Yance. He wanted to be the last person listed in alphabetical order. He has a Y last name. So his last name is Yance. Lucas Yance. I hope I pronounced it and said it right. Here's his photograph. He is the only one I think I've seen that did not have a shirt on. I think. I could be wrong. And here is his identity description. They got his height messed up too. They did a typo. Okay, down here is his accused, allegedly, descriptions and codes. Okay. So that concludes this video of all the current Letcher County inmates. I'm going to end it on my brother. So back again, this is my brother here. This is the only sibling I have. His name is Jared Ryan Adams. And here is his photograph, his picture. He did say if anyone was willing to write to him, he was willing to write back. So if anyone's interested, I showed you the address at the beginning of this video. It's the Letcher County Jail in Letcher County, Kentucky. It's the only jail we have. Over here, we'll go back over it. Here is his identification information they have listed for him. We'll go back through it. His gender is a male. His date of birth is 8/28/1979. His height is 5'11". They don't currently have his weight listed, but that's what he looks like. Here's his race is white. His hair color they have listed as gray, but he's always been more of a blonde. His eye color is blue. His skin tone is fair. His build is medium. His nationality is not listed, but we know he lives in the United States of America. Down below it, underneath the here, they have his accused, allegedly, codes and information, descriptions. I don't know what none of these letters, numbers, or descriptions mean. I do not participate and try to stay away from anything in local society's corruption, in my opinion, and politics. There's his case numbers. Here's his offense dates. I want to say this about all the inmates we looked at and had listed in this video. Every one of these human beings, these people, are accused and alleged of whatever they're accused of until they're found guilty in a court of law, I think is what the law says. I could be wrong. But anyways, I appreciate those of you who watch my videos, those of you who support my channel and try to help me out. And also, I appreciate those of you who send good, positive vibes to every human being that needs it or might need it. And to keep it positive on my channel and stuff and happy. And just treat other people like human beings the way we all deserve and need to be treated as. And if anyone wants to write my brother, I put the address at the beginning of this video. And he said he was willing to write people back. And I just want to give him a shout out again. His name is Jared Ryan Adams. Also want to give his current cell inmates a shout out. They're in cell 121, but I don't know. Like I said, the only person I know right now in the current list of inmates in this jail is my brother here. I do not know none of these other human beings, none of these other people that are being accused of whatever they're being accused of, allegedly. So I just want to give a shout out to the current inmates in cell block 121 and my brother, Jared Ryan Adams. And I appreciate y'all in jail watching me and helping support me and my channel and my videos. It really is much appreciated. All right, you guys, I hope everybody has a good, happy day. And I'll talk to you guys later. Today is Monday. I'll show you the date and stuff. Here's the temperature, 66 degrees. That's not a good number. It's cloudy mostly. It's been raining a little, not much. We need more rain. It's currently 12:06 p.m. and today is 6/15/2026. Thanks for watching, you guys. Appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all later. Thanks. Bye-bye.